Dabar norėčiau pakviesti mūsų viešinę iš Lenkijos, UAB Yawal, Oliwia Bruzuszczak.
Thank you all for your presence here today. And I will also thank the STRUCTUM and my Lithuanian colleague for inviting me here. My name is Oliwia Bruzuszczak and I work at Yawal Systems in Warsaw in Poland. We are a 25 years old company that delivers solutions for building from aluminium. And we are producing aluminium profiles as well as designing and developing window, door and curtain wall systems. I am personally working as a coordinator. We enables the architects to easily put our constructions and solutions in their designs. So maybe let's just start with the presentation and I will tell you more about how we function. As I've said, we recently hit 25 years on the market. And it was a really important point for the company because we have decided to renew our marketing and our whole image. So as one of the leaders in our branch, we wanted to map out these 7 areas where we want to get better at. You can see here these 7 main topics that I want to tell you more about. So, first we have observed the market and the whole building process. We've noticed some big differences between business and individual customers. The first one is always more focused on the economical side of the design, of the realization, and the flow of information, and usually there is not so much contact with him, so he doesn't need that much help from us, more from the architect. So we are focusing there on supporting the architect. So this is actually my area of expertise because this is my everyday work. And from my experience, the contact with the bigger client is seldom, and they expect more this engineering help from us. So the drawings and the informations, research and this stuff. But with the individual customer, on the other hand, there is a bigger need to spend more time and he's demanding a lot of attention. Recently we had problems to assure that, and this is why we have the new program. It's called Okna Aluminiowe PL, so it's Aluminium Windows PL. And I will tell you more about this program of net of dealerships around Poland later, actually in the end, because I wanted to start with this topic because this is really important. This is what we do right now. Next up we have passive buildings. Well, this is the direction we want to follow right now. I think everyone, not only our company. You can easily see here the difference between past and future inside the frame. One of the main reasons is thermal breaks. There is not much I can add to this because the shape and the material, the whole evolution, it really makes a difference. As you can see here, the U factor for the frame, so thermal isolation, it's from 2.3. Right now we have 0.4, so it's 20%, even less. The ice terms, of course, shows how it's changing. Same goes with profile thickness. Of course, it's bigger, but like deeper actually. And the same with central gasket. It's more like, I would say, rocket science, because the researching lasted, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. Third field I want to talk about is also very closely connected to my everyday work. I am also an architect, so architect work always consisted in creative thinking and designing new ways and solutions to our life. And on the other hand, we have the word system, which I associate more with something that is set and ready, like a finished whole. So this is why we want to show you. I will just skip because we don't have that much time. I will just say 2 words to each design, but the feature that is common for all these designs is that they were tailor-made. So actually, with every single building here, you can see, we had to think something new, because this is how we want to expand our offer, not through what we think the market needs, but what you architects need, because you are the closest to the client, so you know best. And this is Baltic in Poznań. It's an office building. It's not functioning yet. These are real photos, but the construction site ended maybe 2 months ago, or a month ago, I'm not sure. Here are some, they are actually hidden, but they are windows that are 20 centimeters wide, and they are assuring the fresh air inside. They are letting fresh air inside, and they are really tiny. I mean, narrow, but really high. So we had to make this totally new element into our system. Here we have also in Poznań, this is a shopping mall. As you can see, for example, there was this skylight inside that was really challenging. The same with a few decorative items. We also had to think out, like, make it from scratch. Skyres in Rzeszów, also an office building. Also, there was this effect that architect wanted to achieve, and we needed to make new profiles to do it. This is residential buildings in Warsaw. Also, there was, as far as I remember, this was a case of sizes. We needed to check if we can make bigger sachets. In this object in Warsaw, I think in every system you can see here on the left that is written, we needed to make some new elements actually. So the word system, even in the name of our company, it is something that is changing every day. And when I'm making something, I always need to make a call and ask if it's already functioning, or we have to think it from scratch. Termy Tarnowskie, this is in south of Poland, a water park and sports object. In Silesia Business Park, as far as I remember, all 3 towers, not only this one, we were doing some, this is the curtain wall that has this structural this decorative thing with silicone. And Sionava Sports Arena in Lithuania. So these are like really short few objects. Aluminium is eco-friendly from the beginning, but we wanted to take it a little bit further, because besides it is 100% recyclable, it can also be used to build green power stations. So, taking into consideration that from 2020, all newly designed buildings will have to be zero energy constructions, we thought that we need to enable the architects to put actually these power plants into the buildings. So photovoltaic systems also do not generate air pollution, of course. How does it work? The main profit that we get from photovoltaics modules we call double effect. And how is it possible that it's generating power and saving the energy at the same time? Actually, when you are shading in 50% the surface of the glazing, you can not only get power from the modules, but also you are you actually can protect the surface of the room inside from heating up. So when you don't have overheating rooms, you don't need that much energy to air condition. So you are saving the energy and generating the power at the same time. And from 1 square meter, you can actually get from 60 to 70 watts. If you want to do the non-transparent surface outside, you can get 140 watts, of course. So when you install photovoltaic modules, you can get you can lower the temperature inside. Of course, you are reducing the investments in energy that comes from air condition. You are generating the electricity in a building. And there is also an aspect that we don't always think about, that when you get these green power plant, you can get the LEED or BREEAM classification. And today, lots of corporations and big companies really pay attention to that. So it's actually really easier to rent offices or any surface actually in your building. Not only curtain wall systems with photovoltaics, also roof systems that can reduce bills even by 70%, and the cost can be obtained in 7 years. Single-family houses, multi-family houses, of course, large building also, and some car parks. Maybe in our near future we can actually fill our super electric hybrid cars in such carports. This is more of a weather thing, so more light. I don't know how about in Lithuania, but in Warsaw it has been really moody this summer. So, well, I think this is one of the oldest trends in the architecture. If a trend can be old, actually, not really sure, but this trend is, I don't know, 100 years old. To narrow the profiles, get more light inside the buildings, and have bigger windows. So we were developing these curtain wall systems that are really slim. You can't actually see aluminium from outside. You can design the second skin type of construction, where you can block all the pollution and noise from the outside and still hold the light you want, the sunlight. And with getting bigger and bigger in residential housing, this is a really popular thing to go really big. So we can have a fixed glazing in dimensions of 3.2 meters times 7 meters. Of course, with open sachets that are sliding doors, you can get 1.6 meters times 3 meters. So the sachet weighs about 300 kilos. Staying in the residential housing topic, and also I will be saying a little bit about what my previous speaker said, so I don't want to repeat myself, but these systems are actually exactly what we want to achieve and put in our doors, in our windows, because every one of us has a smartphone right now. I don't know if it's good or bad, but that's a fact. And we can actually, what we can do, it can simplify our everyday life. So, of course, it's becoming more popular, as Mr. here said. And with the door, what can we do with the door? All this keyboard, biometric kits, lighting and illumination, remote controlling, movement sensors, proximity sensors, remote opening with a smartphone, of course door locking, electronic viewfinders with minicams, smartphone installed in the door. And on the other hand, with constructions that are hard to reach, like roof windows, for example, and patio doors, which can shut our house when we are, for example, outside. That's unfortunate. We can have detectors for the rain and wind. So, for example, when there is an impulse from the weather station that the storm is coming, our windows will automatically shut. When there is too much humidity inside because we are cooking like crazy, then you can have your window programmed that they will actually open and ventilate the house. Magnetic contacts that allows to close the, to actually, they are connected to the alarm system, because I think we all know that roof windows are the weakest link, and patio doors, weakest link for the security of the house. Some personal application that allows you to program your windows and doors. And of course, motion detectors securing patio doors against uncontrolled closing. When your kid is playing outside, he will always be able to come inside, and no matter what. Of course, we can change the transparency of the window in our frames, close the shutters, and this is actually our invention. These are shutters that have photovoltaics inside them, and you can control them with a remote. This is a building in Krakow that was made last year. It's actually also one of the biggest examples of our dream co-working with an architect, because that was all his idea and his need actually to have the, I think, LEED classification, and he just wouldn't stop. We tried to convince him that it's not possible, but we just have to in the end make this. So we have the shutters that are that have photovoltaics inside of them, and they have a range of 200 up to 350 watts each window. This is how they look up close. Of course, they can rotate, and they are rotating to be as effective as it is possible. And last but not least, this is the topic I started with, the professional service of individual customer. You can see here the logo. All the service point will be really high standard, and it is a native service point where every customer can be educated and taken care of. We want to actually stay in touch with the customer from the beginning till the moment he's moving in his home. The whole process is usually very hard for the investors, so that's why we want to assure that he will have, he can start with the internet website with tips and solution configurator, and then take his architect and go to the point of sale. Not only he will have their the model to slide the doors, check if everything is how he wanted to, and also he will get a contact to the manufacturer and assembler. The assembler will also, of course, give him the guarantee and service his windows or doors for the next 15 years. So this is our map. This is how we see it. I want to thank you all for the attention and invite you to cooperation. Thank you.